Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Nanatsu no Taizai Mokushiroku no Yonkishi Season 2 on Episode 6, or the 7 Deadly Sins, the 4 Nights of the Apocalypse Season 2 on Episode 6. Now, I know I am a little late. I do apologize. Forgive me, because I was a little tired, had to do some busy stuff with mobile gaming and some other things. So, forgive me on that. Well, don't have to, but other than that, better late than never, I guess. But this episode right here really shows some intensity, and depending on your point of view, it may seem to be a little pointless because one, it's just a certain character that hardly had any spotlight or showtime, I guess, or two, that character hasn't even really done anything much, and it's just an emotional breaking episode. Just a minor spoiler ahead. If you watched the episode or read the series, you know what I'm talking about. But it is what it is. And other than that, enough of me rambling on. I do apologize. Let's just get this started right away. We have to it that our friends are like in a okay position. I'd say okay because when it comes to Percival with Keon, Nasians, and Donnie, they managed to defeat a Chaos Knight. And of course, Donnie and Keon are arguing like, who should we go to who? Like, go to An, go find Tristan, who knows what it is. But Nasians tells him to calm down because our magical sensing is being disrupted right now. Let's just focus on one thing or the other. And Percival agrees, saying that even if we want to search for Tristan and the others, we don't even have an idea where we end up going. We'll get lost. While Keon and Donnie do have a certain dislike towards each other, no denying of that, although, like, there are reasons why, they just, like, that's just how it is. Although, other than that, we go to a scene with Anglahad, Isolde, and Jade. We have to it that Isolde is being weakened by the snake's poison, and Jade manages to do some, I guess, treatment, even though it's not so much. Like, he sucks out the blood out of her. He sucks out the venom or some of the blood out of Isolde's leg and spits it out to make sure, like, she could be okay. We get to know some backstory that Anglahan was told, saying, I can't believe you guys are friends with that guy, dude. He's pretty, like, crazed up mean. Other than that, we have to it that Jade explains to Anglahan, like, hey, he's not like that. I mean, he's been through some stuff, too. He used to be actually a good, kind boy back then, which shows that even though Jade does seem to disapprove or maybe not really like the way how Keon does things or how he is, he seems to know him more than anyone else because I'm pretty sure he spent a lot of time with him. And we get to know more about that in this episode. Before, like, Jade was about to confess to Isolde, possibly, or tell him how he really felt about her, we get to see that they get interrupted by Macduff. Yes, Macduff, the guy who freaking like almost single-handedly, or should I say, was close to killing Percival and his group. He comes in to attack Anglahad, Isolde, and Jade, and he easily dispatches them because there's no sound. His ability of like not making any sound or putting a certain area in his range of abilities mute is what makes this very difficult and a difficult opponent to handle. Eventually, we have to it that Jade was trying to use some kind of flashbang on him, like blind him before he could hit or possibly kill Isolde. But unfortunately for Jade, the guy was already blind. So that is even worse than it has to be. And we get to see a backstory of Jade, Keon, and Isolde. They used to hang out a lot as kids, and that alone is pretty cute. No denying of that. However, they got into trouble by interrupting a dragon's nest, I guess, or a dragon's sleep. Whichever one that's fitting for you, because they get chased down by a dragon, only to be saved by young Tristan when they were very young. And Isolde believes that Jade, which is actually Tristan, was carrying her and thanks her. But Jade also makes a lie about that, saying, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. So, pretty much, in that backstory, if I put it in simple words, Jade, Keon, and Isolde get attacked by a dragon and get saved by young Tristan. And it's Tristan that was carrying Isolde the entire time, not Jade, and Jade lied about that. So it kind of sucks the way how he did things, but other than that, we go back to present time. Like before Macduff, one of the assassins of the Chaos Knights of Camelot, could do any fatal damage or anything that could kill Isolde, Jade took the blunt of the fatal killing blow right into his chest. We have to Jade manages to distract Macduff enough because Macduff, who has been hit by Isolde's weapon and magic, his left arm gets blown off. And that causes him to actually lose his magic power concentration because he's in major pain. So he loses his arm. And this time, what's worse is that Anglahad is told by Isolde that Jade's not breathing and he's bleeding out pretty badly. Anglahan gets really upset about this, realizing the situation, and we get to know about her backstory a bit. How she lost her mother and due to a certain possible natural disaster or accident, whichever one that the scenario fits. And Anglahan gets really upset about this and was told by Isolde, please go find Tristan. He could fix this up. And we have to it, Anglahan was about to go do that possibly, but not before she gets interrupted by Macduff, and Anglahai gets really angry about this and asks Macduff a question. Macduff refuses to answer and gets hit down by a huge amount of gravity power. We don't know what it is, but it must be related to Anglahai because the way how her emotions was really anger and how she's really ticked right now, she tells the guy, Macduff, to answer his question, and he refuses to do so again, and he gets pushed down by heavier gravity than before, and he can't move anymore. Eventually, Anglahan gets found by Percival, Donnie, and Keon, and she is very happy, and I don't know happy is the word, but she goes to Percival and hugs him in grief or sadness because what just happened. And we have to it that Keon sees the situation with Jade and Isolde right now, and he goes like, hey, Percival, what are you doing? Come here and heal him up right here, right now. You hear me? And we have to it, Percival decides to do as what Keon says, but unfortunately, the mini Percivals tells Percival, hey, I'm going to tell you this bad news right now. I mean, we could heal him up, but he's dead. Like, he's really, really dead. Keon says, what are you doing? Why are you stopping? And Percival's like, I'm sorry, I could heal him, but he's gone. And Keon's like, okay, bring him back to life. And this is where Percival's like, if I could, I would do so easily. And this upsets Keon very much and grabs Percival by the collar or by his clothing and says, don't freaking mess with me. You freaking got your neck snapped and you just died. So how the heck did you come back to life? Bring him back to life right now. And Keon was really like in desperate or in total grief that he shows it through his anger and hatred. But we have to it, Percival says, if I could do that, I would revive my grandpa the first thing, but I can't do it here. And then Percival cries in grief knowing that he couldn't do anything for Keon exactly for what he wanted. Keon gets upset about this, throws Percival aside, and we get to know more backstory about Keon and Jade, that they are best friends. We get to see that Jade actually envies or is jealous of Keon, seeing how he can say things without a care about anyone else, you know? And we get to see how Jade always puts a lid on his true feelings and that he always wants to be accepted by everybody. And Keon tells Jade in this flashback or backstory that I don't want to be submissive to anyone's like thoughts, man. That's just how I am. And we get to see that Jade actually tells Keon that he sees Tristan as amazing, but he just dislikes him or hates him. And I may have an idea of that other than why he dislikes Tristan, but whatever the situation is, Keon in present time, with knowing that he knows his best friend is dead, he summons a powerful fiery spirit and goes kills Macduff. Macduff, on the other hand, tries to escape with a certain object that, what's her name? Tianiak or something like that? That's her name? One of the summon creature magic users or something like that? Magic user? He tries to escape, but unfortunately, Keon does not let him escape and burns him to a crisp. Like, he literally burns him to hell. By that time, Tristan shows up and realizes the situation and gets really upset about this. And eventually, we get to see another scene with Lancelot and Gawain having to save some demons who were under mind control, and the demon that Tristan fought was actually very happy and thanks Lancelot and Gawain for saving them. Lancelot says, hey man, you guys were brainwashed, but if it was on your own free will or freedom, whichever choice, I would have showed no mercy and killed you guys on the bat. Other than that, we have to it that Lancelot and Gawain ends up finding Tristan and the others, but unfortunately they realize they are one magic user short, which apparently I'm pretty sure they're going to find out next episode, which really, really sucks. So yeah, all I can really tell you is that in this episode, Flames of Remembrance, which is what the title is, which is very devastating to see that kind of episode title, we get to see that a group seems to be doing okay until Macduff comes in and kills Jade. And then Keon tries to get Percival to revive Jade, but Percival cannot do so because, sadly enough, it was a little too late. Had Percival had been there the moment Jade was damaged or pierced, I think he would have been saved. But unfortunately, that is not the case. And yeah, Jade just got killed. And Keon gets upset about this and decides to kill Macduff in vengeance, which I don't blame him for. That's his best friend right there that he knew from childhood up until now. So he has every right reason to get angry, and Lancelot's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? I told him to capture them alive. Yeah, easier said than done for you, Lancelot. If you were there, and unless you were friends with Keon, I don't know. Anyways, that's about it. We'll see what happens in the next episode, but it's called, from what I hear, or fan translation gives me, The Mad King. So, yeah. Anyways, that's about it, people. Sorry that I was late on this. So until then, I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!